Frozen! Honey, where's my super suit? Cut that out, actually. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to our new podcast. So this is really exciting. This is something we're going to be doing every once in a while, which is really good. So today we're just going to have a bit of a run through a few bits and pieces and tell a bit more about us, what we do, and some just general chat, really, I think, isn't it?
Sounds great. Let's get into it.
Let's crack on. So we worked together when we did our university film,
Yeah.
Work Your Socks Off, which we worked quite well. We met at uni, obviously, but we spent 2 or so years just going to the pub and meeting at parties, parties, and kind of just being socialising,
Doing
really.
the whole uni experience.
But we were in the same class together, and I always really wanted to work with Jack because I was just I quite like the vision.
I think we very quickly realised how well we worked together.
Which was
partly because of the friendship that was already there, but
we did,
also just collaborate very well, I'd say.
Which was nice, and I think it was a lot of the time in second year we were doing like other projects, and then we'd kind of bounce ideas off of each other a little bit for our separate projects, which was quite funny, really. And then it kind of clipped in of why don't we actually
properly work together?
And we spent a year working on Work Your Socks Off.
Third year we were joined by the hip. Pretty much Work Your Socks Off.
Saw more of you than I saw most people. We had a great time. We
absolutely
made a project I think I'm
both very proud of.
Very proud of. Yeah, we've got some great memories and stories. And the day we're filming this, funny enough, it's been exactly a year since the week we filmed. So I'm sure
today we were filming.
1 year today we were sat in my horrible house trying to film scenes in an incredibly tight and dark hallway with. Yeah. So I think from memory, this was the day that all the camera gear started to play up.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Not going to, that was a stress I never want to reimagine. But we did that, and we made the best of it. But
we did, and I think we made a pretty great film.
I'm very happy with it. Yeah.
It's been quite successful as well.
I've done a few nice festivals, done some bits. We've been lucky to show it in theatres and things. We've had a really good run of it. But after that kind of wrapped up, we went to, I think it was the week after we shot, we went out for a meal. But we had watched these guys that came into uni who had set up their own little production.
Rat King,
big up. I hope if you're watching, hello. We both kind of came to each other with the idea in the pub after a few Guinnesses and went, do you fancy doing this sort of thing?
Yeah.
And then... yeah, we just...
That sounds right, yeah. I don't remember it being like a very serious conversation or something we went into massive detail in.
No.
We were just like, let's do it.
Let's just do it.
And then kind of didn't talk about it for a while.
Well, we came up with a name, but it wasn't like Fruitbox. It was Flashy Productions. And then
we
had lots of names, colours, ideas.
Quite bad names as well, yeah.
So, Blue Milk Productions, I think was one of them.
Yeah, I would have liked to have called it Blue Milk, to be fair, but it was quite a popular name. Yeah,
taken a few times, so... yeah. We were a bit left out, and then I think it was Applebox.
Yeah, and we wanted to avoid Apple being in a brand name for obvious reasons.
Yeah, and then we stuck with Fruitbox.
Yeah, we had Banana Box, but that was too long.
Banana Box we liked, but we couldn't do anything with. And
so
then
we went for Fruitbox.
And then we did a promo.
The rest is history.
The rest is history, and then we did a promo that hasn't seen the light of day.
Yeah. So often the way in film,
it's to be fair. I think I've still got it on my hard drive kicking around somewhere, but it's maybe mothballed in the deep depths of it. We've done a fefew projects so far. We did Jumping Out the Window, which was kind of it was your monologue project, and then we did Boss Fight
with Nala. Yeah.
That was great film.
That was such good fun. That was such an amazing shoot.
It was really fun.
And they were great. They were so great.
They're just really great guys, and we ended up winding up the admin department because we were just shouting, jumping around, and being us, having a laugh.
Done a lot with Savannah,
who
when I was young.
Which
will be coming out pretty soon now, which is exciting.
About a month's time by my calculation, but.
And that was a great project as well.
That was amazing. That was such fun. We did Fresh Produce with her, which is which is our little interview series, but we'll crack onto that in a minute.
Yeah.
But we've just been working together ever since. I think that's the Fruitbox story so far.
That is, I would just add on, we didn't want to stop making film and video. We wanted to continue, so here we are. And it's so far, fingers crossed. Done pretty well.
It's done all right.
Pretty good.
So what do we do?
What can we offer?
Who
for those people out there,
potential people out in the world,
potential clients and customers. What can we offer you?
Well, we're here. I think to say anything video related, really.
Yeah.
Video. Yeah. I'm sure we can sort out like if you want if you want bits for reels, you want to film a podcasting thing, you want to do whatever, really. Come with us to an idea.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to explain it. I think if you have an idea, video related, motion picture related, just come to us and we'll see if we can do it.
See what we can do. I mean, whatever. We're out for videoing events. We're up for doing anything, really.
Yeah.
Is the key of it. I think it's just, like we said, we like doing video stuff. We want to, if you've got an idea that you've been cooking around in a bit of a script, give us a bell. We might want to do something.
Help out,
You want us to make your music video?
Yeah.
We'll probably do it.
Obviously we've now done a couple of those. So
got a few in the bank, and we've got a few other bits and pieces.
Love to do more. I'd love to work with. I know we both enjoy working with
definitely
upcoming talented musicians.
Wonderful, talented musicians. Yeah. So anything like that, we're excited to do. I think that's quite a good way of putting it.
It's fantastic for us to get different and new opportunities as well for our portfolio.
We want to help bring your things to life. I think is the key thing. Like
definitely,
it's just whatever. What are you? What's your idea?
We'll make it happen. We enjoy doing this, so come to us with your ideas,
please. Please. We're begging.
We want to get out of our day jobs. So
we do.
We can make that happen. That'd be great.
That would be great. Oh, anyway, we thought we'd talk about some of the bits that we've been watching on telly.
Let's talk about some film. This is a film podcast.
Film and telly podcast, and kind of just an introduction to us. What have you been watching?
I think we have to talk about Adolescence.
It's good, isn't it?
Adolescence is everywhere at the moment for very good reason. Adolescence is very, very good. It's very, very good. You should give it a watch, and you guys should definitely give it a watch.
Definitely,
I'm sure. Netflix in the UK at the moment.
Sure, you've probably seen it or seen it everywhere.
I think 90% of the UK probably watched it over the weekend, Sam. So you kind of.
I reckon so, but I like to be different and unique.
That's fair enough. Is produced so incredibly and so impressively.
It's really impressive.
One shot.
He's working
each episode.
He's working with Cole. What's his name? That's really. It's past me now, but he worked with him on Boiling Point. That's really annoying.
Yeah.
Gonna remember that as soon as we stop filming. But it's a that was amazing. I don't know if you saw Boiling Point, but that was
I did
incredible.
Yeah.
And Adolescence follows very much it takes all the technical stands, doesn't
technical
it?
And ability and cinematography is just incredible.
It's really powerful, I think, as well.
You haven't got there yet, but episode 2 or 3, obviously spoilers here. So you're in one location, you're tracking a character, and then I've read about it as well because Netflix have released a lot of Q&A about it, which I think is a really good idea. And they must have had 3 or 4 grips, attach it to a drone. The drone takes off. All is still filming, still in focus. Drone takes off. I think flies across.
I've seen the clip. I know the clip you're on about.
I think it's like 3 miles off the top of my head. That could be completely wrong. Drone goes over to the site of the murder. And then the drone comes down. And again, 3 or 4 grips ready on location. Take it off the drone. And then they go into a close-up of Stephen Graham. In one shot. Absolutely incredible.
Sounds like organisational hell,
yes,
to be honest.
Yes. But all I can picture with this, I know you're not much of an F1 fan, but you've got the pit crew, right?
Yeah.
Whose one job is to change the tyres.
That insane. That perfection.
And they practice every day, all day. This is what I imagine the group's doing. Just taking off, putting on this drone over and over.
Hours and hours of practice.
Making sure they don't mess the focus or
that's the thing, isn't it? Because you've
too much wobble,
you mess one thing up and it's that's the illusion done. That's it. I mean, it's so impressive. I think it's and again, it's just another stable of fantastic filmmaking. I think
absolutely.
It's that
British
as
well, which is nice.
Very nice, but but it's always great to see these. I think the standard of television at the moment is, I think especially I would say the past 10 years has kind of has gone up tenfold, and I think it's fantastic to see just the creativity that goes into the method now. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, right. Adolescence, which has been so great, and Severance. What's it called?
Severance, yes, the Ben Stiller thing. I haven't seen that. I've seen that. I can't comment on.
Also, mind breaking. Mind-boggling how well it's filmed.
I've heard it's quite tense.
Yeah.
And a bit like a bit of some mind games, as it were.
Again, it's just how do they shoot stuff like this? It's actually baffling. There's one shot in Severance where they pan up to the ceiling, kind of go through the ceiling, and then they're in like a wire complex, and the camera's going through all these wires into the next shot. No CGI. How? Well,
it's the rebirth of practical effects. I think that's a real, you know, that's something that I think's been a miss, definitely over the past.
Yeah, over-reliance on CGI, which has become a bit of a thing.
Yeah, and I think audiences are almost starting to twig onto that a little bit. I think it's more of a.
CGI has gone downhill almost in quality, I'd say, in the last 5-10 years, especially Marvel.
Well, I can definitely vouch for that. I mean, speaking of Marvel, I've been catching up with the new Daredevil series. Yeah. So, big fan of Daredevil when it came out originally, and one of my favourite characters in general. So I was quite excited when I was like, "Oh, he's coming back." It's okay.
Okay.
I'm not sold yet. I'm not sold. Some amazing scenes.
I watched the original series.
The original 3 series are fantastic. Yeah. That first series is amazing.
Agree.
Second series is great in bits.
Yeah.
The Defenders were good. I don't know if you watched that when they're all together with him, Jessica Jones.
No.
Luke Cage and Iron Fist. That was good.
Okay.
Am I missing someone? No, there was only the 4 of them. But that was great. But I love Charlie Cox's Daredevil. I've always been a big fan of that.
Very good.
And when he's come back in bits, I've been like, oh, fantastic. Yeah. And this series was probably one I was hoping would be the saviour. Mm-hmm. It's been okay. It's just a bit slow, and it's a bit.
Hasn't quite got there.
Quite got there for me yet. It's feeling a bit Law and Order, and I like Law and Order. It's
because he's a lawyer.
Because he's a lawyer, funnily enough. Yeah. But you know, I'm excited to crack on, see him get back in the suit, man. That's the and hopefully see a bit more of the choreo. I mean, the first 15 minutes was massively intense and really amazing. I'm not going to spoil it.
And then just kind of took a bit of.
Well, it's just taking a back seat, which I know is the aim, but I'm just not. I'm not quite sold yet, to be completely honest. Yeah,
Jurassic World
thing,
whatever. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to. I think that I might give that a miss.
Yeah, as a massive Jurassic Park fan as well, I think I'm going to give that a miss.
I haven't seen quite a lot of the new Jurassic Park. Actually, I watched the first.
You're not missing a lot.
I watched the original 3.
Yeah, and then Jurassic World was very, very good.
Saw that in
cinemas. Has there been 2 since then?
I know I got my mum.
Is there a trilogy of Jurassic World? I think there is. Those 2 are pretty awful.
Didn't see the second one of the new ones, but I know I've seen a little bit of the third one.
Yeah.
Because I think my mum got it for Christmas, and I just walked past and was like, I am not sold. Yeah. Just left quite quickly.
They've not been great.
No, which is a shame.
Which is a shame, because Jurassic World, I would say, is probably one of the best sequels of a classic trilogy.
Oh yeah, well it's not even. Well yeah, it's kind
I thought it was fantastic. Jurassic World.
It was very good. I remember. I haven't seen it for a few years now, but it was very good when I watched it. But it's fantastic. Which you think now it would be.
But this happens. Look what happened to the new Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah. I love Last Jedi. Sorry, I know that. I know that we have. I think it's fantastic. And I
think it's beautiful.
It's so pretty.
I think it's
when they're fighting in the guard room. That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
And when they're flying in and there's all the red sand. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it all looks great. It's just actual content.
Yeah, why are they going gambling? Why are they going gambling?
And I remember that. Yeah. That whole subplot was just completely
40
irrelevant.
minutes of my life. It's just like, what am I doing? Like, why are you playing with some robots? And
it's just the whole trilogy went one way and then went the other way and then went back the other way, and it just didn't.
Last one's horrendous. I really don't like Rise of Skywalker. I think that's so. It's boring.
I feel like it was just trying to, I don't know, cover up too many.
It's just patching up.
Yeah.
It's like
when you a dodgy. I don't know.
Dodgy decorating job, wallpapering over cracks. Be all right. We'll put a picture over it.
And just didn't work.
No,
at all.
Go on.
What films are you looking forward to seeing this year?
I'm looking forward to going and see the new Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
I quite like.
That's top of your list.
Probably this year. Yeah, I know it's probably quite a basic answer.
I'm looking forward to seeing Zootopia too. I loved Zootopia.
I've never seen the first one.
Oh, that's criminal.
Well, I say originally a guilty pleasure, but now just an absolute love affair. The Incredibles, man. Yeah. That first one, I think I'm going to say, is the definition of a perfect film.
Perfect, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
The soundtrack's amazing. Performances are great.
Yeah.
Fantastic story. It's still pretty, 20 odd.
And it's got Frozone in it.
Frozone! Honey, where's my super suit? Cut that out, actually. But it's just, I love it so much, The Incredibles.
Yeah. No, that's very fair.
So good.
I'd like you to tell me one thing you're excited to see, Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, Revenge.
One moment back in the cinema. So
of course, yeah, because we were talking about it. So to catch everyone else up, sorry, this was a conversation.
We love Revenge of the Sith. We're excited. It's coming back on cinemas. In cinemas, because
we were talking about things that we were thinking about maybe seeing in the cinemas again. So, like I've always loved Batman Begins. It's my favourite out of the Nolan trilogy. I know it's not the most lauded, but I do really enjoy it, and I like the way Gotham looks and all that jazz. But Revenge of the Sith coming back in cinemas, because we might have been there as kids, but I never saw it in cinemas when it came out initially.
It's hard to remember with our age.
Yeah, because we're
very young.
We were in that time when they were coming out. So, but it's always, I think that I'm very excited to go and watch that, because I think we're going to try and get ourselves in one moment I would like to see.
I think yours is going to be different to mine. That's why I'm asking.
I'm going to give two.
Okay.
Slightly.
Okay.
The opening sequence with them flying in.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Flying through, or the battle on Mustafar as well.
Yeah.
That
is incredible. But I don't know. I just get the feeling sitting down in the cinema and then bang, battle over Coruscant. This is where the fun begins. It's just going to be epic at the cinema.
Do you know what I actually think about? I wouldn't mind the fight between Palpatine and Yoda is always great as well.
Yeah, that goes a bit underrated.
That's a very underrated fight. I mean, it's lots of CGI men, but that's such a good sequence. Or the fight in the throne. No, they're not in the throne room. When Mace Windu comes and has his fight with Palpatine with who's there? It's Kit Fisto. Can I remember? Kit Fisto. I think Plo Koon's there as well.
No, I think Plo Koon gets shot down in the order of
66.
Order 66, I think.
I think you're right, actually, yes.
We'll have to go and watch it.
We'll have to remember and
re-remember it.
Relive it. Relive the best.
Relive all the Jedi dying. Brilliant. That's going to be fun.
Sad times. But it's all right. Obi-Wan survived.
Yes,
a bit.
That's true.
Yeah.
Just about.
But what would you... Right, I'm going to propose... This made me think as well. What would you want to go and see? If you could pick any film that you'd like to go and see in cinemas again, what would you like to watch on the big screen?
Okay. This isn't... I've never seen this at the cinema, so it's not something I'd see at the cinema again. And there'd be one condition to this as well. I'd love to see Shutter Island for the first time at the cinema, because it's probably one of my favourite films.
Yeah.
And I feel like the first time you watch Shutter Island, it's a bit of a mind-boggling, and just incredible. I'd love to see it at the cinema.
Well, I'd like to. Well, sort of some film that threw my mind when I first watched it. I'd love to watch Inception again.
Yeah, that's also a very good shout.
Because that was
the cinema. Yeah,
that was stunning. I do like quite a lot of Nolan stuff, but Inception was a bit of a throw when I saw. I only saw that recently, actually, which is a bit bad. But like, I watched it and was like, God, this is
very good,
very good. Yeah. And I've seen it now, two, 3 times.
It takes a few times to really process it, I'd say.
Yeah, but I'd love to go and watch it again, and I'd love to go and watch it in cinemas. If we're going films for the first time in cinemas, I would love to go and see I'd like to go and watch Oppenheimer in the biggest screen
IMAX
possible, the biggest IMAX screen. That's
fair.
I mean, I cried when I saw it. It was fantastic.
Did you see that at the cinema?
I did originally. I saw it in the Brighton Odeon one Friday night at 3 p.m. with 4 people on this tiny cinema screen. It was good. It was still amazing.
Proper IMAX.
But that bomb drop would be
amazing.
Pretty amazing. Upcoming
announcements.
So
for Fruitbox.
Fruitbox next step. So. Well, obviously, we've got
a lot going on.
There is some bits cooking. We've got some bits in the oven, put it that way.
Very excitingly, we're working with Tiana Ardern again, who we've worked with previously on Work Your Socks Off.
Yeah.
On an elephant documentary, which is really exciting.
Very
completely
exciting, yeah.
Out there.
But again, that's what we're here to do. We're here to collaborate on ideas and to make things happen.
So that's very exciting. It's going to be all about the truth behind elephant tourism. So even I didn't really
I think that's definitely something me and you are both maybe more in the dark
a lot of this. So we want to teach audiences about why elephant tourism is basically
a bad thing.
Yeah, in a lot of regards. So for example, riding and bathing and all of that is really bad for their mental and physical health. So the documentary will be exposing all of that in Southeast Asia. And that has just gone into pre-production.
Yeah.
We're going to have a crowdfunder out very soon, which
probably be
you guys will be able to check out.
Yeah, like week, 2 weeks or so, or is it sooner than that? Sorry,
it could be out by the time this is out.
It could be actually. That's a good point.
So if it is, there'll be a link.
There'll be a link in the description. God, we are such professionals. Link in the description. And then jumping out the window. Yeah, go. Me? Well, no, I keep throwing to you. Yeah, jumping out the window. We've mentioned it a few minutes earlier, but that was a project that me and Jack worked on at the start of last year, wasn't it? About a year or so ago now. Just before we did Work Your Socks. It was just before we shot Work Your Socks Off, I think.
Yeah.
We shot that. But that's coming out soon. That'll be on the Fruit Box. It's had quite a bit of success coming around a few monologue specials and things. Festivals, sorry.
Yeah, so it's been involved in 3 festivals, I believe now.
3, I think.
2 abroad,
which is
1
fantastic.
in America, which is really cool to have one of our films in America.
And 1 in Greece. So was it Greece?
It's rather Greece or Cyprus.
Greece or Cyprus. Sorry, I think that's probably maybe slightly contention.
No, I think it is Greece.
I think so. I remember.
Pretty sure it's Greece.
Yeah,
but very cool nonetheless.
Very cool. And I think we floated the idea of a boys' trip to Greece to celebrate. But that's going to be really exciting. So that's coming out in the next
Well, yeah, we need to confirm a release date, but it will be coming out soon. It will be coming out soon, which is exciting.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
So and hopefully, I don't know, we might be doing
we're hopefully going to have Maya on the show who starred in that.
Starred in that short, and she's fantastic.
She is fantastic.
She gives an incredible performance.
Hopefully, we'll get her on the show.
Along with another anniversary chat with Lyndon.
Yes, Lyndon. Hopefully getting Lyndon,
who's an absolute legend. I worked with him during my time at university, and he was also in Wake Socks Off, and he played the role of Dad, and he was great. But he's just an overall, we love working with him, don't we? So it would be really lovely to have a bit of a chat with him, sort of a retrospective on the shoot.
The Work Your Socks Off experience.
The Work Your Socks Off experience, and maybe talk about throwing him in the ice-cold sea in the middle of a rainy storm. It's probably... would be fun to get ahead of, wouldn't it?
I think that's all we've got time for.
I think that's all we've got time for. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you've watched the whole thing, if you've only watched bits of it, fair enough.
Or tag all our socials somewhere.
I think they might keep
up to date with
what's going on. They might be up on the screen. Who knows? But
boom. I don't even know if that's in shot.
We'll find out in the edit. But yeah, that's great. So links to our socials, got some nice upcoming bits and pieces. But yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you very much if you've listened so far.